There are places in this world that aren't meant to be found. Hidden places, forgotten by maps and time. But sometimes, people go looking anyway. In a forgotten town tucked between two lonely mountain ridges, there lies an ancient forest, one that no one likes to talk about. If you ask the locals, they'll glance at each other with that nervous flicker in their eyes. They won't tell you much, just a shrug, maybe a vague warning, but they'll never say its name. There's a reason for that. The forest is old, older than the town, older than memory. They say it has roots deeper than bones, and that once every 10 years, it feeds. In the summer of 2019, 4 friends went into that forest looking for answers, or maybe for attention. Tyler, the loud one, always chasing views. Kayla, skeptical but curious. Jenna, quiet and anxious. And Marcus, who always seemed just a little too eager to see something strange. They ran a small YouTube channel that covered abandoned places, urban legends, creepy folklore. When they heard about the forest, they knew it was perfect. Viral gold, they thought. But this forest wasn't like the others. This forest wasn't sleeping. They prepared a bit too casually. Cameras, snacks, flashlights, batteries, a cheap EMF detector they bought online. Jenna was hesitant from the beginning. She grew up in the area and remembered her grandmother whispering stories, something about the trees being alive, remembering pain, remembering names. They ignored her warnings, laughed them off. By midday, they were deep in. No marked trails, no signs, just towering trees and that still, eerie quiet. The kind of silence that presses against your skin. For the first hour, it was uneventful. They joked around, filmed intros, waved the EMF detector like it meant something. But slowly, things began to change. The light dimmed, even though it was still early afternoon. Shadows stretched longer than they should have. The wind stopped. No birds, no bugs, not even the sound of branches creaking. Just silence. Then the compass Tyler brought started spinning. The GPS on their phones stopped working entirely. No signal, no map, just forest. That's when they heard it. A whisper. So faint, it could have been imagined. But it wasn't. They all heard it. A voice, soft and breathy, as though the wind had words. Turn back. They looked at each other, uneased, but still pretending it was fine. Tyler laughed nervously. Must be the wind. But the trees weren't moving. Then came the second whisper. Don't look behind you. They all froze. Every hair stood on end. And of course they looked. Nothing was there. Or so they thought. Later, when reviewing the footage, they saw something standing behind Marcus. Just for a few frames. A dark figure, tall, impossibly thin. Long arms, too long. And eyes. Hollow, but shimmering, like wet stone. They never saw it in the moment. The deeper they went, the worse it got. Paths they marked disappeared. Trees they passed seemed to repeat themselves. Kayla swore they were walking in circles, even though they hadn't turned once. Then the whispers grew bolder. She's watching. You don't belong here. She's under the roots. Nightfall came quickly, unnaturally fast. They decided to camp, thinking they could get some rest and hike out at first light. That was their second mistake. As darkness swallowed the forest, everything changed. The air grew heavy. The silence turned alive, buzzing, breathing. The whispers didn't stop. In fact, they got louder, layered, as if hundreds of voices were speaking at once. Some crying, some laughing, some just breathing. Around midnight, they heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, pacing around their tents. Then a giggle, childlike, just outside the canvas. Tyler, shaking, unzipped his tent and stepped out with a flashlight. And that's when he saw her, a girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, pale, barefoot, wearing a white dress stained with something dark. She stood just beyond the light, smiling, too wide. Her eyes didn't blink. She tilted her head and whispered, "Do you want to play?" Tyler screamed and fell back. The others scrambled out, but the girl was gone, just gone, as if she'd never been there. Jenna was shaking, clinging to her rosary. Marcus sat cross-legged, eyes wide, whispering something over and over. "She lives beneath. She lives beneath. She lives beneath." No one slept that night. By dawn, Marcus was missing. His tent was unzipped neatly, his backpack still there, but he was gone, vanished. No footprints, no sounds, just absence. They searched for hours, screaming his name. Then, in a tree about 10 feet up, they found his camera, dangling by its strap, swaying in the breeze that shouldn't have been there. The footage showed Marcus walking through the trees, alone, whispering, staring into the camera. At the end, he stops and looks directly into the lens. She's under the roots. Then it cuts to static. Panic hit hard. Kayla wanted to run, Jenna wanted to pray, and Tyler, he just wanted out. But the forest didn't let them. Every direction looked the same. Markers vanished. Time made no sense. At one point, the sun moved backwards in the sky. Then Jenna started humming. A song none of them knew. Old, off-key. When they asked her about it, she just blinked and said, "My mother taught me that." Her mother never existed. Later that evening, they turned around, and Jenna was gone. Just gone. As if she'd never been there. Only a single shoe remained, twisted in a way no human foot could leave. That broke Kayla. She dropped to her knees and screamed into the trees, "Take me! Just take me already! Is that what you want?" And then, for the first time, the forest answered. A voice, not whispering, not echoing, but full. Ancient, heavy, like it came from the earth itself. "We take what is lost," Kayla sobbed. "Why us? You were already fading." That night, it rained. Black rain, thick, sticky, smelled like rot. By morning, only Tyler remained. He stumbled through the woods, broken, bleeding, his clothes torn, face pale, eyes sunken. But somehow, he found the edge. Or maybe the forest let him go. He collapsed at the roadside, muttering nonsense. Locals found him and called for help. It took days before he could speak properly. And when he finally did, all he said was, "She lives beneath the roots. And she's still hungry." The authorities searched the forest. They found nothing. No tents, no bags, no bodies, just silence. Later, when they reviewed Tyler's camera, only one clip remained. It showed all 4 of them, standing in a clearing, smiling for a group photo. But behind them stood the little girl in white, smiling too,